Hey, good morning, everybody. I wanted to do something a little bit different on my business page that I haven't been doing lately, and that's shoot a little more video content. So I'm gonna start doing some of this, and if you want to watch the videos, I'll give you a heads up at the beginning what they're about. If you're not interested, that's fine. Sometimes it's beneficial to listen. I'll try to keep them very brief. Try to keep them that 5 minute mark. So I'm going to kick off today. Just letting you know, I'm going to be discussing the difference between owning a single family and a multifamily as far as investments. If you're ever interested in talking more detail about this, certainly reach out to me. I'm just going to go over the pros and cons real quick, hit like 3 bullet points for each, and we'll get off this video shortly here. So we'll start with single family. So one of the pros for single family home is the low cost to buy the property. The down payments are typically very low, and that obviously is a beneficial thing if you don't have a lot of money to invest in a property. And then the other pro is they're more desirable. People want them. The American dream to own a home, which is not a bad thing. Some people, have different opinions about it. We can certainly discuss that at some point if you'd like to. But there's more single family buyers out there. And there's also investors buying these properties to either, rehab them and rent them out, or to flip the properties to make large profits in a lot of cases. And then the third pro is there's more single families on the market. There's more of those homes to choose from than the multifamilies. To keep this short, the cons to owning a single family, there's more competition. You have, like I said, you got people looking for a single family home as their dream home, and then you have investors out there trying to buy these properties as well. So they're very much sought after. There's a lot more competition on these properties. Another con is, if you're using them as an investment property, there's less cash flow. You got one rent versus multifamily. You could have anywhere from 2 to hundreds. So you get that one rent coming in, and that's it. And the third con to that is because of that one rent, if your tenant's not paying you for a reason, good or bad, you have no income. So you're stuck picking up that mortgage payment until you can rectify the situation. So that's kind of the single family pros and cons. Moving over to the multifamilies, and there's two types of multifamilies. They're considered residential, like duplex, 2 all the way up to 4 units. Those are considered residential multifamilies. Anything 5 units or more, those are considered commercial properties. Just so you know that there is a difference there, and it has a lot more to do with the borrowing capabilities. So on the 2 to 4s, you get a little more flexibility. You might be able to have a smaller deposit on those, but the 5 units will be substantially more. So the pros are, obviously, there's more cash flow. The multifamilies, you have multiple incomes coming in. If you got a 4 unit, you got 4 incomes coming in. So if you're getting $1,000 a room for simple math, you have $4,000 coming in. So that's definitely a pro. And obviously, if there are 100 units, $1,000, you can do the math. It's a lot more income coming in. The second pro is they're easier to raise the value on. A lot of times they're mismanaged. You can change the management out. They might be charging low rent. You can raise the rents. You might have to do some improvements to justify that to your tenants so you don't have them leaving on you. But there's ways to bring up the value of a multifamily property much quicker, just by getting a rent increase in one way or another. And then the third reason is it's a stable income. Like I said, if you got 4 tenants paying, say one of them doesn't for some reason, they're having a hardship at work or whatever, you still got 3 rents coming in versus that single family. If somebody loses their job in a single family and they can't pay the rent, you're kind of stuck. The cons to multifamilies are going to be the higher purchase cost. because obviously a lot of times they do cost more, especially get into over 5 units. And also 5 units or more, you're gonna have a bigger down payment, probably 20-25% of the value. So that's an issue there. If you don't have a lot of money saved up, it's going to be very difficult to purchase a very large multi-unit property. The second con is they're scarce. They're hard to find. These guys know other investors. A lot of times they'll turn these properties without real estate agents, just internally through people they know, or they'll sell them on the off market. And investors and some real estate agents know how to find these properties, and we can certainly help you with that. And then lastly is the management needs. There's an expense to hiring a management team, especially you start getting over 4 units. You might want to have a management team keeping an eye on your property. You get 100 tenants, and you don't have time for that. Especially I don't, in the real estate world. There's other things I need to be doing, so I'd have to hire somebody. And then you got to be careful because they're not all good. It's like everything. Sometimes a bad management company out there will cost you a lot of money. So you definitely have to pay attention to who you're hiring. And, those are, again, the pros and cons to multifamily. Certainly, if you guys have any questions about this, reach out to me. I'd love to chat with you, or any other real estate questions you have. So it's nice talking to you. And until next time, take care.